Hello and welcome back to Empyrion channel. This is Empyrion here. So first thing that I wanted to say that I forgot to say it in the last video. It's simply just Happy New Year. I completely forgot about that, and I just went with the mood that I have, wanted to record again. So yeah, there you go. Happy New Year everyone. And I hope it's a new year that everything is going to be fine for the rest of the world. If not, that I really can't say anything that it's being helpful about it. So yeah. And why am I back on the dark vessel again? Which is why I editing the video and I forgot that there's a captain logs that I just ignored. So I'm just gonna read this one out and going back to the archive. Okay. E4281. No work for over a month. Me and the crew are starting to get desperate. Heard there's a big rock out here under Xerox protection, but they're not even interested in mining that damn thing. That PM would bring me and boys a tidy profit. E421B. I happened to get the patrol logs for the goons keeping watch on that rock out there. Turns out there's about 2 weeks between patrols. We could be in and out in less than a week. With all that loot, we're going for it. Good. E423A. Shits, we got more than lucky with this rock. There's some old tech in this here rock. What? That's gotta be worth more than the cash this hold to bring it on its own. We're gonna prolong our stay and see if we can't dig that they're building out of the rock. Must be worth a lot if the Xerox ain't gonna touch it. Yeah, so that's all the log, and I'm going back to the archive. Alright, I'm back. So there's gonna be a lot of reading. So yeah, I'm not planning on recording over a hour-long video, so I'm just gonna be a little bit quicker. Yeah, this planet lost to legacy. So all this were the list of planet that has been invaded by the infested legacy factions. So there's really no mean to read this all. So, and let's start with the left side. Swarm ship. Hold on, let's see what's on the right side first. Whoa, yeah, it's pretty much about the weapon thingy. Okay, let's turn on kind of a cinematic camera. And let's start. Swarm ship. The legacy swarm ship is the primary frontline vessel of the legacy, consisting of the biological synthetic design present in all legacy constructs. They vary in appearance from teardrop shape to spiky balls kilometers in diameter. While in processing, little to no offensive weapons. The swarm ship primary directive is to produce biosynthetic drones and release them in huge quantities that, as their namesake suggest swarm. The drone force surrounds the swarm ship in a protective bubble formation, spiraling as a living shield and protector to protect the ship within while reacting to attackers by peeling off on pursuing as more drones are grown and deployed by the swarm ship to replace those lost and sent off to engage attackers. Unless the drone shield can be penetrated and the swarm ship disabled, the drones will perpetually replenish themselves. Insufficient damage to destroy or disable the swarm ship will slow down drone productions as resources are. Okay, so that might be the end of it. I don't know if there's more to it, but let's see this. Whisper Drive, developed by Trade Federation Dr. Sean Ray C. Solma in the year 2512 PA at the famous Daltimir. I can't read that name. Research facility, the assembly's leading research laboratory, responsible for many of the technological breakthroughs. Use it to slow the advance of the Legacy's invasion through the Empire. The Whisper Drive was developed based on the same effect caused by the Legacy to inhabit warp field through oversaturation of hyperspace in a given area due to the massive amount of sensory data communicate between Nexi and individual Legacy unit, causing hyperspace ripples that disturb the quantum wake of point-to-point communication and travel using warp field technology. The same effect was replicated using a artificial singularity suspended in a collapsing warp field between two fixed hyperspace gateways, pulse at rapid intervals to cause quantum ripples across the surface of hyperspace. Over a short distance, the effect of such device. So the Legacy already developed a very advanced warp drive to be able to teleport themselves from the other Andromeda to this very own Andromeda. I think that's what I'm gathering right now. I don't know, but that seems to be the case. Okay, this is the last one here. Let me just take a sip. I don't feel like my throat doing well for me. Okay. Alright, this is the final one for the Legacy. First encounter in the year 2504. PA in the Glodrin quadrant, bringing about the coming Wall of Silence, where world after disappeared one after the other, with no call of aid, no distress signal, and no warning. Like a plague, the infection of the legacy spread through assembly space, unstoppable and incurable. Their technological might and adaptive nature rendering them near immune to all the weapons of the war fleet, and the silence they bring, and the silence they spread in their wake. The ability to inhabit warp drive and hyperspace communication, striking fear into the heart of the assembly's citizen, knowing that by the time the legacy swamp ship and hive ships are sighted by the long-range scan, it's already too late. None will escape, and no message will get through to the High Command. Too long it took to understand our enemy, how they weren't creatures of flesh and blood as we are. They may use us as host, but their true form is... The large amount of the information seems to be depleted due to the length of the database. So yeah, that might be all for it. So let's see over here. The Dark Light Cannon, one of the few weapons employed by the Legacy that have been successfully replicated and adapted for Warfleet used. The Dark Light Cannon, as it's most commonly known, is a proton laser weapon. Protons are few accelerate to near light speed. Sorry about that. The ubiquitous, I don't know how to spell that word. The ubiquitous purple beam associated with the weapons is caused by the collision of highly energized protons with air molecules, and in fact the beam of the weapon is invisible in the vacuum of space without the use of instrumentation. Due to the intricacies of cooling and lasting mediums, the Dark Light Cannon is currently limited to being mounted on the Warfleet's main warships, and their use on inhabited planets are strictly forbidden under the Talon Academy of Science Law 43102 due to the effect of radiological environment contamination of the weapon when used inside a planet atmosphere. While the Legacy employ Dark Light weaponry as their primary weapon on many types of craft, they somehow message are also depleted. Yeah, they might be somehow to be able to use it and inhabit all the atmosphere. That might be the motives with the minds of the infected. Okay, War Factory 11. With the loss of the 3rd, 4th, and 6th orbital fleets in the first week of open war against the now identified enemy, the Legacy, projected losses for the escalating war were only set to increase. Contracting the Polaris Mining Corporation, with the fate of the galaxy at risk, the construction of 25 war factories and the materials to supply them was the task given. The purpose of the war factories was the automate construction of combat vessel fast enough to hold off or even slow down the advance of the legacy swarm. Unfortunately, while the factories proven extremely effective, only 11 of them were ever constructed. War Factory 11, in the final stage of construction and incapable of movement, was attacked by an offshoot of the main legacy swarm and infected. Rather than consuming or dismantling the war factory was for its material use, War Factory 11 became the first and only factory to be utilized by the legacy to manufacture alien crafts. Okay, so that is a bad news for the Andromeda. You know how the factory works, right? Because once the factory built automate machines, it will be taking advantage by those who aren't really friendly looking guide for themselves to be able to manufacture many as they wanted. Despite the legacy, it's a biological infestation that can somehow manipulate the metal and device to be able to use it as for their own benefit. This is the really bad news for the past. I don't know if there's any story planned ahead to be able to explain that much, but if Elion decided to put it in like a large scale of the battle, like combat CV with two factions fighting each other, that would be great. I'm pretty much looking forward to that in the future update. So yeah, we're on to the last one, the Xerex houses Xenu frontline military operation across assembly space. So the Xenu is guarding the archive and consider it's one of the outposts for the military operation. Epsilon, communication and surveillance specialist, expert in the productions and use of drones. So Epsilon is the main supplies of the drone, which is why I hate it the most. The episode at the forefront of advanced technological development for both civilian and military use. So the House of Epistles, it's only the scientists and researcher to be able to develop the new technology for both civilian and military. Yeah, kind of a bad news because the ambassador seems like they wanted to discover more, and they might be interested in their legacy and trying to like research it. I don't know. We'll see about that in the future. Radars dedicated to the timely supply and logistic that feed the Xerex war fleet and city planet. So the radars is basically the resource factions that it will continually supplying the logistic, which means that it's the component and probably probably food supply as well. Yeah, so Raiders is the main resource factions. Serdu, protectors of the Syraxian faith and masters of biotechnological research into the legacy. Yeah, Serdu is the bad news. Farost, expert in the medical fleet. The medical frigate supply military and civilian alike. Don't know what that word means, but Pharaohs is the medical faction. A Geist covered I think I read that right. Covert recognizes. Yeah, I'm having a trouble to speaking that word. Reconnaissance. I'm just gonna say it like that. And espionage. The guys are specialists in taking out supply lines and key individual target. So Geist is the main. Geist is like a sabotage and specialist force of the faction. They'll be planning on mainly ambushing the target. So yeah, I think that's all of it. The thing that I said before, it was my own opinion of how these houses are working alike. So it's time to find a keeper. It is beyond this door. The keeper of the archive. I think that it's the phase. Yep. You'll be open. Oh god, I'm lagging. Keeper of the Imperial Archives of the House of Episode. Welcome, visitor, to the Imperial Archives of the glorious House of Episode. How may I serve you? So you must be the keeper of these archives. Well, he's not opening his eyes because I wasn't walked close enough to it. So yeah, he must be awakened. Yes, indeed. I am the humble keeper of the archives of the glorious House of Episode. And although you do not seem to be of my creator's kind, you are the honorable keeper of the staff of guidance, and you also hold a seal of the House of Episode. Please forgive me inexcusable ignorance. Your Excellency, how may I serve you? Do the archives hold any info about terms, void, text, or progenitors? I am afraid there are no info available in these archives, Your Excellency. Other archives might hold information about them, but I am currently suffering from a long-standing disconnection from the Imperial Archive network. Never mind then. Can you tell me something about the legacy instead? Of course, Your Excellency. The term legacy is used to describe an entity that is capable of infecting biological beings and transforming them into an infected, yet intelligent version. The so-called infected do not suffer from hunger, heat, or cold, can breathe or live in the vacuum of space, or in extremely radiated places. The first contact with infected has been recorded just ahead of the Wall of Silence, which started 1300 years ago. What actually is the legacy? Scientific reports made during the Wall of Silence indicate the legacy is a semi-material entity bound to some structure in the real world. Usually this structure were holding a certain amount of pentaxid element before they are converted to some radioactive alien metal. No data available. The legacy itself is not the sum of all the transformed biological beings under its control. It's not like a beehive, but the sum of the energy it stole from them. The exact method of this stealing process has not been found, but the investigation indicates that an infecting particle is somehow transferring the energy spirit of any higher life form to a local pool of the entity. The local pools aggregate. What the hell is that? Okay, I need to really remember to shut my phones off. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Aggregate into hive nuclei. When a nucleus is strong enough, a local entity referred to a hive mind is created. This hive mind then tries to get in touch with other hive minds on nearby Nexus world. It also sends out ships that seed the legacy particle on new worlds. It was found that the legacy particle can only infect higher beings, but not animal or lower life forms. The particle does actually infect lower life forms, but dies without gaining control or being able to transform them. The controlling of infected higher life form is a side effect, though they are used as a cannon fodder for the legacy. The hives are not weakening by killing this affected. It only slows down the spread of the legacy particle. This specific was used by the Geist and the Sinew for the infinite life forms aka ILF weapons created by the Surdude. After the destruction of several planets with conventional, the weapons did not succeed. The ILF was deployed on many worlds, creating myriad unintelligent lower life forms. The fury was that the legacy could be dried out or at least distracted, while spending more and more effort to compensate the loss of its legacy particles. While conventional weapons destroy their hives, this strategy seems to have been successful as the legacy was pushed back to the edge of the galaxy. The Wall of Silence officially ended 900 years ago. Reading. Is there evidence that the legacy was destroyed? I am afraid this information was removed from the archives, Your Excellency. The information is not available. Interesting. Can you tell me something about the Xerax Empire? The glorious Xerax Empire has been founded by 800 years ago after the treachery of the Talon led to a civil war. The Talon Xerax Assembly was dissolved as a result, and the Xerax Empire was born. It was founded by the most influential house of the Xerax, the Sinew, the Geist, Rados, Epsilon, Surtude, and Abyssal. The first Empress was a member of the House of Surtude. In the beginning, this changed with nearly each new royal election. The last 2 centuries, the Empress has always been a member of the House of Abyssal, though. Can you tell me more about the Talon treachery? Even before the Wall of Silence, the Xerax houses did all the dirty work for the Talon Xerax Assembly. When the Wall of Silence came to its end, the evidence was found by the Sinew that this Talon might have initiated the war or intentionally to weakening the houses and overtake the rulership. Geist specialists found out that the Talon were using similar tech than the ships of the Legacy, and that they seems to have come from the same spot outside this galaxy. The High Court of Houses decided that after the dusk of war settled down, to disempower these traitors for the good of all biological beings. Most of the Talon did not escape their deserved punishment and were enslaved or sent to reservation. There have been reports of a refuge fleet having fled into the deep space. The glorious Xerax Empire is well aware about that and always ready to withstand their attack or anyone else. Okay, I think I heard enough. Is there a possibility to download that archive? This can only be done by a member of the House of Abyssal and the keeper of the Staff of Guidance. Please put both insignia in the scanner device in front of you. Place Staff and Sealed. Can I get out the dialogue system just to walk closer, just so I can see your eyes open? I guess not. Permission accepted. Preparing download of the full archive to the Staff of Guidance, encrypting with the quantum properties of the Sealed of the House of Abyssal. Download will take a few minutes. Download starting in 3, 2, 1. Hurry up! Okay, let's walk closer. Yeah, see that? The eyes are open. We are getting company. Counting 10 enemy signatures. You need to find the enemy in the archive room and kill them before they can destroy the archives. Oh man. Okay, let's do it. Come on. Enemy, you said. Are you expecting me to walk out there? I do not want to walk out there. Rawr. Take that, you bastard. Come on, any more you want to come? Oh god. You're not kidding me. Okay, there should be 3 more of them by the front door. Yet I can hear them. They are outside the door. Hold on. Let me salvage all your corpses. Alright, bring it on. See what you got. completed. This archive is now shutting down. Thanks for your visit. Farewell, Keeper of the Staff. Okay, we got the objective. Back to the ambassador. Does that mean this station is gonna blow up? I wish I'm not blowing up. Ooh, yep. Yeah, do you see the eyes of a transition that... Yeah, very good. If I walk over here, they will look over here. Hello? Hey, what happened if I just... Yeah, it still sees me, so it's just a hologram. Heroes resolution, data incomplete. And over here, frontline hero, Commander Cowbeck, error. It seems like the stargates are not active. Yeah, I think we're done here. Goodbye, Keepers. Alright, let's go back to the ambassador. Alright, I come back to the ambassador and ready to deliver the news. Wait, hold on. In case... what is it? Yeah, in the mist container. Just in case if the ambassador are asking for this. Yeah, I forgot about the things that is in my inventory. So let's just do this real quick before they run away. Beverage tea and the input copper, some that's it. Fuel and O2, you go here, and the misc for... Yeah, I'll spread it later. What else? Medical fridge. Yes. All this can go back into the fridge. And I guess the platinum bar will go in here. And I almost forgot again. Mutated substance and artifact. What's it called again? Technical artifact. Yes. I'm back with the good news. Maybe not the good news, but not enough info that I can deliver to you. Glad you made it out alive. I heard the Xenu have destroyed the archive. I make sure they'll get their payback for that. Did you find what you're searching for? Well, the Xenu does not destroy anything. I just kill them all. They're just being a weakling. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, yes, but there are a few things that do not fit. The Talon being traitors. Yeah, I'd expect that you find this questionable. But I need to know the archive was created by my ancestor and only with the field of the glorious empire in mind. Let me fill in some blanks and clarify a few details. Oh boy, another reading time. Okay, let me just sit up straight. Okay, the evidence the Xenu and the guys found about the Talon having set up the Wall of Silence was already heavily disputed at that time. Specialists of the House of Abyssal later found out that the evidence were made up, faked, or only half the truth, but at this point no one didn't care, because the house complexes have decided to take over the control, so they use this reason, and everyone won, except the talent. A lot of the members of the Academy of Science were killed or imprisoned, but also a lot of the talent, at least more than the Empire will admit, have fled into deep space and never returned. One thing of the evidence found back then seems to be correct. That talent didn't use similar tech than the legacy ships. Even the shapes of the ships were nearly identical, also the weapons, and they came from a distant galaxy. Triangulum, as you call it, as refugees, as we found out. So there actually is a connection between the talent and the legacy. We just haven't found out what it is. I'm feeling we are so close. Don't want to hold you off from anything, but I have a pressing mission. Of course, we will start with this right now. As promised, my spy have located the prison complex. It is located in... Hold on a second. We're getting an emergency report. I have a bad feeling. Commander, seems like your GLAD organization has a traitor in its crew. I just received a message that a small guys task force will depart in a few hours towards the GLAD outpost. With the order to destroy everything. No prisoners. You should head back ASAP, find that traitor and get rid of that problem. Otherwise our operation to free your comrade might end before we even started. I will be here and see what I can prepare until then. Good luck, my friend. Damn! Wins and loses. Something unexpected happened. You found an ally within the Syrax Empire, the Ambassador Haizani of the House of Abyssal. Not only helped you to understand more about what makes the Syrax Empire tick, but also seems to know a lot about the event of the recent past, especially about the legacy, and also about a mysterious, presumably extinct race named the Progenitor. Okay, she didn't mention about that. You know, it's kinda off the information here. While you're still trying to fiddle out the new information fit into the big picture, including the void and the test, you are racing back to the GLAD outpost to reveal a possible traitor and save the crew from me. Already rolling guys assault on the base. Let's go. Oh boy, I guess I'm gonna have my baby vessel getting hurt from all that again. Yeah, it's going to have to be that way, isn't it? I'm gonna have to repair all that again. So yeah, this is all for now. This will be everything for this video for today. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. My eardrum just broke. Leave a comment down below. How do you think about this scenario? How do you think about this chapter so far? We uncover a little bit more secret about the past, but not entirely true about what's happened with the talent and the legacy factions. Yeah, it's also implying that the talent may be lying about the legacy or the Syrax things. I don't know about that, but we are raced to the clock to getting out of here. So yeah, that will be on the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to me to see more serious update. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next time.